In this video, I'm going to take you through how to create users within your white-labeled A1WebStats account. You start off when logged in by clicking on Users. This is where you see the users you've already got installed in the system. If you want to create a new user, just click on Create New User here. And you start off by entering a company name here. You can include a telephone number, but you don't need to. But you do need to put their website address. If you need to change their time zone, you can do that here. The primary contact forename that goes in this box here needs to be the name of the client. The primary contact email address would normally be the details of that primary contact you've listed here. It doesn't have to be, as we'll explain in a minute. Tick this box and then click on Create. What the system does is temporarily shows you a password that the end user will log in as. It's always a good idea to copy that password because you may need it in the future. Then click on Get Tracker Code. At this stage, even though you gave a primary contact email address for that person, nothing's been sent to them. The tracker code they will need to install is shown here, and you can copy that tracker code. And if you have access to the client's website, you can obviously install it directly yourself, typically in the footer or before the closing body tag. Or you can send it on to them to get installed by their own people. There is an option here that lets you email that tracker code directly to the person that you've listed in the primary contact email address, or you can just copy and paste that into one of your own emails, which is what most of our white labelers tend to do. Now what you'll notice here is that although tracking is on, it won't actually start tracking until it sees that tracking code installed. This option here, Enable Direct Emails, is switched off by default because not all our white labelers want their customers to receive emails from the system every day. In this example here, all the time that is switched off, James will not receive anything from the system directly. If you wanted James to start receiving daily emails, you could just switch it on there. You'll get a warning. And if you said OK, it would switch it on and he would start receiving emails from the system each day. If you do want your customer to receive automated emails each day, you would also need to select one of these options here. Typically, daily or weekly would be used most of all. Some of our white labelers never actually put the primary contact's email address in here at all. They might put their name there, but they might put an internal email address here. So it could be yourname@youragency.com, for example. One more thing to note on this screen is this concept of throttling visitors. If you're on the base level of subscription, you will be allowed 15,000 visitors that you can spread through as many user accounts as you want to. However, maybe one of your clients has got a lot of visitors. Let's say they've got 5,000 visitors per month, and you don't really want to allocate that much of your allowance to them at this stage. That's where you would use throttle visitors. Whatever number you put in here, it will restrict that person to that many visitors each month. For example here, it would limit them to have 1,000 visitors tracked in each calendar month. That would allow you 14,000 other visitors to be allocated to other customers as you require. You can change that throttle at any time you want to. If it's set to 0, that means it will allow them as many visitors as they've got to their website. If you do make any changes in this page, obviously just click on Update at the end to make sure those changes are saved. In normal circumstances, you would get this far, just check that the direct emails are switched off to start with. You would copy this tracker code, get it installed on the website, and then it's ready to go once that has been installed. If I go back to the users view now, you can see that new user in here. At this stage it says they're not tracking because the tracking code hasn't been installed. From this screen you can create as many new users as you want to, always working within your restriction of 15,000 if on the base level. Of course, if you do want more than 15,000 visitors per month spread through as many clients as you want to, you can have higher pricing tiers. You can always get a view of how many visitors each of those have had over the last 30 days. And you can also see when they were last tracked, when they signed up, and when the last user login was. That's when they logged in directly themselves, not necessarily when you logged into their account. And the last thing to mention on users is that any time you can log directly into their account from this screen, just by clicking on login. When you do that, you'll be prompted with an email address and password, which is the details that you used for your agency account. And then you go here. And then you're logged in effectively as your end user would see the account.